very interesting thing that's happened this week or last week, because the game Power World came out and it's doing very, very well. The early reviews are pretty solid, and yeah, I think I'm gonna jump into it. I mean, not yet, but I am gonna jump into it eventually. I got like a list of other games to go through, so eventually I'll get to it. Right now, I'm going through God of War. It's pretty fire. Again, with the headphones. As you guys know, the headphones are a game changer. So, yeah. So, one of my favorite controllers ever is this one right here. This is the Horizon Xbox controller. I love the colorway of this thing. Like the triggers are different colors, the joysticks are different colors. Like it's just such a dope controller. And like the leather on the back of the handles here, in my opinion, it really does help. Again, just like this graphic going across, part of it is transparent. Like it is just a dope controller. My favorite controller though is definitely the PlayStation controller. Well, not this one, because this one was experiencing drift, so I had to get a new one, which I got this red one, which is my what I'm using to play God of War right now, and it's fantastic. I'm loving it. I got it for $50, and they had actually just come out. They went on sale, and I was like, oh yeah, let me get it, because I'm a huge fan of like black, white, and red, and boom, I love this one. But back to this Xbox One. Again, just my favorite controller. Truly, truly love it. And I don't even know if you can still get this one anymore. And I noticed that about some of the Xbox remotes, is that sometimes they won't always be available. You got to go to like eBay or whatever to get them. But if you can find this remote still, I would highly suggest you get it, because yeah, it feels really, really good in the hand. So I picked up my Xbox One S a little after they first came out. And I did that because, well, it was the only thing available. I wanted a PS5, couldn't find one. And then I found out about like how you can stack your Xbox Live codes and then add Game Pass for $1. And yeah, I did that, and it's been solid. Love my Xbox One S. Solid console. And funny enough, like, the One S has helped me embrace like this digital revolution. And so the other games that I've got on my PS5 are ironically digital. But it got me thinking about like kind of console movers. And in my opinion, a console mover is, or are, games, right? In my opinion, PlayStation just has more console movers. Nintendo is notorious for console movers, right? Mario, you could only play that on Nintendo. Pokemon, you can only play that on Nintendo. Zelda, you can only play that on Nintendo. Like, those are console movers. And I just got to thinking about, what are Xbox's console movers? They just, in my opinion, don't have any. And I think that's what led to this Xbox or Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, which gives them a library potentially now of console movers. Starfield it is potentially a console mover, or was a console mover. And the crazy part to me is that I can't remember the last time like someone was like, oh yeah, I got an Xbox because I had to pick up X game, and if I'm wrong, man, someone tell me what if they think that there's some console movers for it. But again, in my opinion, like there just aren't console movers that you have on PlayStation. PlayStation, or has Spider-Man. They have obviously God of War, um, and they had The Last of Us from the PS4 era, and the developers of Spider-Man are making a Wolverine version. So like you have these console movers on PlayStation, where you just don't see that with Xbox. And you just think about, again, this deal to buy Activision Blizzard, and it's like, oh, okay, so you guys are just buying one of the biggest studios that has this huge catalog of IPs, and now you kind of overnight have some console movers. And hey man, good for you guys. But again, it just really got me thinking about, like, what does Xbox have that's a console mover? And I will say that Halo was a console mover, right? Like, I remember back in high school, like, people were playing Halo left and right. When Halo 2 came out, like, oh dude, it was the talk of the town. People loved it. You bought an Xbox to get Halo. And recently they announced that this battle royale version of Halo was being canceled, which is a huge bummer, because I was, again, looking forward to it. But Halo used to be a console mover, but that's just not the case anymore. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what this 2024 looks like for games and consoles in general. And we know that the PS5 has been outselling Xbox quite a bit. So, I mean, 2024 is really going to be interesting. And in my opinion, 2025 is going to be more interesting, because this Activision deal, I think that's when you're going to start seeing some of those games that were scheduled for both consoles really take effect in 2025, and try to have more more Xbox exclusive, and again, more console movers. That happened with Starfield, where you got this console mover kind of, again, overnight with this acquisition. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting for gaming in general. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, another random thought. Anyways, over and out.